game until going into it. So let me say this.
Is it much
when we decided,
different?
a little bit. It's very quick time. Like it's you got to make your decisions fast. But when we decided Madden 21, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get some reps in, and I got in, and I was trying to figure out what team I was gonna use. I made a list of all the teams that I could run with, and like actually have a decent defense. I could have gone. Actually, I should have gone with the Cleveland Browns, and I really would have put some work in on them because they have a better defense. But dude, I solidified on the Ravens, man, and I just practiced with them and went in and just did work. That episode's actually coming out in 2 days. So
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll be straight up with you too. I went on YouTube trying to find that video that we could be like, let me see how he plays. I'm trying to watch some film on you, and there was nothing. I'm like, damn it, Joe.
I mean, hey, if you think that's gonna help you, then by all means. Who are you playing as again? You're playing as the Cowboys, right?
America's team, the greatest team in the world, bro.
Oh, so you're playing the Patriots.
No, America's team. We don't cheat. We don't cheat where we come from. We don't cheat.
Oh man, no, y'all just get hurt in the first quarter and then you just make excuses for the other three.
That's a lie. We do great in the first 3 quarters, and then we just stop playing in the fourth.
Do you not know Tony Romo? Come on.
Right.
That's fair.
Like we just gas out.
Oh my god.
Like we perceive that we're a good team, and then towards the end, when you're already committed, that's when we show our true colors.
And what sucks is that as a Cowboy fan, as soon as the season ends, you're already fully committed for the next season. So it's a ever cycle of just abuse.
You're pulling a Conor McGregor, even though you just broke your ankle. You're like, hey, my next match is on. Let's go.
Like, I didn't even try that last round. Oh my god. Anyways, welcome back to the DLC podcast. We're talking games, movies, all things in between. I'm Isaac. There's Jacob. You haven't seen him in a minute, and he's the reason you didn't get your podcast on time. Actually, it's my fault. It's my fault for trusting him. So I'll hold the blame on that.
No, okay. I'm rusty on it comes to like video editing. I haven't video edited since 2009.
You just uploaded a picture.
I mean, it's an audio clip, dude. I was trying to transfer it into YouTube. No, back in my day, you could just transfer audio clips into YouTube. It wasn't you need to convert it to MP4. It's like just put it in there. But with the whole copyrights and stuff, they don't want just MP3s everywhere.
Like I said, it was my fault. It's my fault. I hold the blame on that. And beneath me is the greatest man of all time. He's handsome, devil, musically talented. And if you need a haircut, he could hook you up to pristine condition.
I don't look like I could do it right now. My hair is all jacked. I ain't got a haircut in a while.
Is the man, the myth, the legend from the gaming bunch, Joe, who I just found out has another podcast called Get Low. We talk about music.
Yes. Nice. Yes, I do. Yes. So I don't know if we talked about that in the last episode that I was in, but that was really when Get Low, I think, was just jumping off. A small segment of that is the podcast was from 2019, and I had a different co-host at the time, and it was the very first podcast I had ever done. And that one, it was super cool. It was all audio based. It died out. Long story with that. Won't get into that. And then my new co-host Aaron came to me and was like, dude, we talk music all the time. Let's start a podcast. And I was like, well, I got time. Let's do it. and
let's bring it out of the ashes.
That's it. Like the Phoenix rising up.
Right.
I think we're 23 episodes deep now.
Nice.
And we've had some pretty ballin' guests on there. We've had Tony from the band Two Sides of Me, Tony from the band Pale Blue Dot, Jared from the Jared Stout Band, Slim from Disco Risque, practically the whole band of Rivals. If y'all are a fan of like metalcore, pop punk, pop kind of music. And then one guest that I fangirled over, and it was horrible in the episode. I was just falling over my words.
I loved it.
Was Garrett from Silent Planet stopped by and hung out with us, and we might have debuted a new song.
Maybe
What?
someday. Yeah,
There
bro.
we go.
Dude,
So,
that shit was
I'm
fire,
really
bro.
happy with it.
That was really great.
So shout out to my co-host Aaron. I love you, baby. But no, we had a lot of fun over there. And of course, the gaming bunch. Can't forget those dudes, Sam and Anderson. Love them. They're my BBs as well. You know, we're just I stay busy, man. It's funny, you're talking about editing, and I literally was editing episodes right before I hopped in here. So like I have probably like another 8 playthrough episodes I gotta edit from the Assassin's Creed playthrough I'm doing. So
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm learning. I'm trying to get back into it.
I took a crash course like at 4:00 in the morning, so I could start uploading gameplays onto our YouTube. So I mean, I'm not all the way there yet, but it's getting there.
It's definitely interesting. And if ever you need any assistance or anything, or you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me with editing, because I've been doing it for so long. I'm self-taught, and I've I know a good bit. I'm not a master at it by any means, but I definitely know my way around a control board. And I'll tell you, it like when you go from editing podcasts, which are very, I would say easy, especially if you don't cut it a lot. Like if it's a continuous conversation, it's very easy to edit and very easy to, you know, okay, here's my intro, here's my outro, here's my meat. Okay, so I got the meat and the buns. Now, where do I want to put my transitions? Where do I need like some swells of music? Are there any funny memes I'm going to put in here? Like it's really just sitting down and analyzing the video and then doing your pieces. But when you get into gameplay like content and gameplay editing, I just started recently editing like challenge videos again. Our editor Drew does a primary, you know, edit for all of our challenges, but for challenges that I personally do, like I'm doing Warzone Wednesdays on our YouTube now. I've been editing those, and let me tell you, the level of difficulty that I did not realize I was getting myself into is insane.
Like, dude, so for people that don't know Tim the Tatman and his psychic whips, like you'll see his Modern Warfare Warzone YouTube video thinking like I can do that. It's not that hard. Then you realize they gotta go through hours of content, cut out what's not needed, stitch it back together to where it's like flawless transitions. And I'm just like, bro, like that's why
if I'm not mistaken, I would say if I'm not mistaken, I think what helps them is they have a schedule. They have a schedule of what they're gonna do for those episodes. That way they know, like, okay, Whips is taking timestamps of like, okay, I can go in here and pull this section. Like if Tim does like a TikTok build, okay, I know to start at timestamp hour mark, you know, 103:15, and then cut from there. That I think that's how they do it. But nonetheless, you're exactly right. It is insane.
I mean, I just did this yesterday. Because I have a Stream Deck, and I found out to where I could use it to make a Twitch clip, right? But I could also have it clip on my OBS while also putting the flag of where I put that clip at in my whole streams. That way, if I want to go back and make a complete montage, there'll be flags throughout my whole stream that I can pull out. So that I found that out, and I was like, okay, that's significantly helpful, especially with like Valorant gameplay. Yeah, it's a must. But let's get into the meat of things, man. Because Jacob woke me up early in the morning while I was snoozing away, and
I called at 11 o'clock.
Early in the morning, dude. I was up
early.
Dude, I'm up late editing. Okay, leave me alone. But like, he called me, and when he asked me this question, it got me so hyped. I jumped out of my bed and started a whole argument with him.
I had to be like, "Well, let's save it for the podcast." I got a guest in mind that I think would be great for this.
Thanks.
So, and that's when I messaged you.
When you told me, I was just like, yes. So hey, you know what? Hey, let's dive in. I've been doing some research for this, so I want to make sure that the facts are present.
All right, Jacob. Yeah. So what's the dilemma we are facing right now?
Okay, so to Isaac's disappointment, I've been on TikTok a lot.
I'm not. I'm a little disappointed, but you know what? I'm gonna have to. I need to get on there in a way to start posting clips for podcasts and Twitch.
That's why I made it. But then you go into this deep rabbit hole of just videos, and of course I'm like following a bunch of comic and nerdy stuff. And one of the things that kept popping up, and this popped up like years ago. This is a constant argument for some reason. But we had a lot of people just like hating on Batman, right? And the question got, proposed. Who would win? Batman versus the Punisher? And now, of course, that's just a straightforward question. I want to dig a little deeper into that because, yeah, we might be able to pick a winner, but let's also ask the question: who's the better hero? Not who would win in the fight, but who's the better hero? So, but we'll go down that road.
And I'm assuming you're gonna set some precedents, right? To where, like, for instance, and it's not just them walking down the street and they bump into each other, and Bruce Wayne spills his Starbucks and wants to fight the guy, right? You gotta set some situations.
So let's just talk about who Batman is and what makes him a hero. So, for starters, I want to ask you, Joe, when you think of Batman, what do you think of? Like, how is he pictured in your mind?
I'm Batman.
I need one of those too, by the way.
It's an amazing thing. Go XLR. Get it, streamers. So when I think of Batman, I think of a couple things. The immediate thought, of course, is the ties to the Justice League, which is a massive group of heroes. I think of how, if I think of the character as a specific person, I don't ever think of Bruce Wayne because Batman's more ever present than Bruce Wayne really is. I mean, Bruce Wayne definitely has, his background, but
yeah, I mean, and Batman himself has gone on record to say that Bruce Wayne is his alter ego. Instead of, Bruce Wayne being Batman, it's Batman who becomes Bruce Wayne in his eye.
Yep.
Yeah, he kind of mentioned that in Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was also mentioned what was it? What was the movie with Val Kilmer? Was it Batman
Batman Forever? Was that one?
Is it Forever? Oh, hang on. I got you.
Because Batman and Robin is with the Riddler.
Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Yep, Batman Forever.
Yeah, that was my favorite one.
Yep, and that was the one with Jim Carrey playing the Riddler.
Yeah. And then Two-Face.
Yep, it had Tommy Lee Jones playing Two-Face.
Yeah.
And it also had what's her name?
That babe.
Yeah, what was her name? Wait a second. I got you. Cast. Nicole Kidman playing Dr. Chase Meridian. So in it, I believe she actually said to Bruce, talking about the masks that we wear. And it was like a call to like, who's really the person that you are? Like, if you're having these nightmares, who is having the nightmare? Is it you having the nightmare, or is it Batman having the nightmare? And it's kind of like that call to like, who are you really? Are you Bruce Wayne, or are you Batman? And of course, Batman's a more ever present character. But I always think of when I think of him, I always think of key points of the character. Number one, he never kills anybody. Number two, he is consistently making gadgets. He's always able to make gadgets. Number three, he's an amazing investigator. Yep. He's the most brilliant investigator in the world. And I mean, he's just a brilliant mind, who also likes to take in random kids and turn them into spandex wearing sidekicks.
And he makes sure that they're gymnasts. Got to go flexibility.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of questionable for sure.
I mean, I call it the Michael Jackson syndrome. He didn't get to live out a childhood, so he lives out his childhood through other kids.
That's so bad, but so right.
You're out of line,
Oh
but you're
man.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Okay.
That's a call
So
to Marvel.
Isaac, what does Batman come to mind when you think of him? Like what stands out?
I mean, honestly, like what Joe said, right? Batman is Batman. Bruce Wayne is the alter ego, correct?
Right.
And when it comes to his morals, he doesn't break them to a T, to
Okay.
a T, right? So obviously he hates guns, he hates
Yeah.
killing. But if you get in the thing is he is like a bull looking at the red flag. Like he's gonna get that target no matter what. So he doesn't particularly kill. He will make sure you don't walk again in order to get what he needs. Because I believe it was in uh I had to pull up earlier. There was one of the Batman animated movies where basically he tells Damien no killing. He's like, yeah, no killing, but putting a guy in the vegetable state is just totally fine, right?
Bad Blood, I believe
Bad
it's
blood, I think
that's
it was, right. So Batman, would I want him on my side? Of course, right? Is he the pristine hero? No, but the thing is, he never comes out to be that. He leaves that for
right.
Superman.
If I
Right.
may make one small correction to something you and I both said so far,
Go for it.
we both said Batman doesn't kill. In the comics, Batman has killed twice.
Yes. Well, actually, more if you go like way deep.
Yeah,
True.
true.
To the point where he literally hung someone on his bat plane and flew off.
Yes. The most recent that I'm seeing, and this was the one that actually like clicked in my head as soon as I was remembered, was in Gods Among Us Year 3, number 13. He is taking the Joker to the police station, and the Joker is basically monologuing the whole way there. Like Joker does, saying, you can never really get rid of me. It's you and I in this world. It's only us, and that's all we can ever do. And then he literally snaps Joker's neck as he pulls up to the police station.
Right.
Like that,
Oh
which was also one of the most brutal moments I think I've ever seen in Batman history. But
no,
So
I remember. Oh, go ahead. There's another scene I remembered that I think he
yeah.
killed the Joker twice. Technically, I could be wrong.
So with all that being said, which I don't disagree with what y'all said. One of the things, and of course, with the Batman you mentioned, is the Batman of a different universe. And so for this battle, we're going to be using the Batman that's mostly well known that won't
Kevin
kill.
Conroy.
okay.
We're going to be using that Batman because that's the mainstream Batman. But one thing, what comes to me when I think of Batman, and it tends to piss off a lot of Batman haters because of the Batman fanboys, is prep time. His greatest weapon, prep time. If you give
Okay.
him enough time, he can beat anybody. It's the argument. So, with that being said, we have Batman who,
I want to add to that. Not only that, and I think it's with the Justice League, where I think it's where he takes out the Justice League, or one involving Superman. No, it's Batman versus Superman, the animated one, where they're talking about like why is Batman trying to take out Superman? He's like he could destroy the planet. They're like, yeah, but he's on our side. He's like, if you could think of it, it's a possibility, and he takes account of just the thought of something. So he's that like pristine when it comes to figuring stuff out.
Yeah,
yeah.
but the thing is, we can't really take that into account because that's Frank Miller Batman, and Frank Miller Batman is he's up here. Like the dude, they literally made him into a bodybuilder,
Dude, he's just
and
jacked
and
up.
was basically like, he will murder you. Like,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
don't test him.
So, my thing is, I think, yeah, Batman lives by code that he won't kill. That doesn't mean that he hasn't. Like, of course, the Batman you brought up, Gods Among Us, is just it's an alternate universe. But even with the Batman of Earth, what is it, 616? He has threatened to wipe out people before, or I guess aliens, which I guess I don't know if Batman considers them people. I don't know if he's racist like that. Because when Darkseid came in and he was in Darkseid's planet, and Darkseid And
He's friends with Superman, bro.
okay, no, but hear me out. But when he came in and was in Darkseid's planet, and Darkseid was about to take over Earth, Batman was able to stop him by clearly telling him, "If you go through with this, I'm going to blow up your whole planet, killing everybody."
Well, yeah. I mean, he did the
So-
same thing for the Robins.
Yeah.
He threatened to kill the Joker when I think it was Killing Joke, or what comic was it when Joker beat the living hell out of Jason Todd with a crowbar.
The Red Hood series.
Yeah, the Red Hood series. Yeah, like he did that as well. Now, granted, that's not Kevin Conroy Batman.
Yeah.
That's still comic book Batman, but so that's a different arc. But I know
I
what
was
you're
just
saying.
joking. I was just joking about the Kevin Conroy thing, bro. I was just saying he's the real Batman. You could go beyond that.
Okay, no, in that case, then yeah, like his biggest thing is he will, like, if he's driven to that point, his main thing is he won't kill. But if he's driven to that point for reason, then I mean he's threatened to break that rule before.
Right.
I even think
Right.
he threatened to like I'm fairly certain, I could be wrong. Fact check me out there, YouTube, but I'm pretty sure he threatened that against Dick Grayson at one point when Dick Grayson was an adult, of course, and it was like a straight up battle between the two of them.
If my uncle's listening, he'll probably fact check us.
Yeah, it's our uncle. He's the king of nerds, may I say. He's a historian. He's a historian when it comes to anything comics.
I wouldn't be in the comics if it wasn't for him.
Facts.
So, but anyway, so like, okay, so Batman has threatened to kill. Now, I will say this: that's different from actually killing. You can make threats, and Batman's good at making threats. And so here you got a man who, as much as a lot of people hate, if he has enough prep time, can accomplish almost anything.
Yeah.
But that one rule of not killing. And on the other side, we have Mr. Frank Castle, a man who won't even sweat about pulling a full clip in someone's body. So here lies, I guess, the question, because, you know, a superhero, I guess someone says, is a superhero based on their morals, where Frank Castle seems to not really have any.
But at the same time, though, can you consider him a superhero? Or is he just an anti-hero?
Okay, and that's the question I posed to y'all. Would y'all consider Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, a superhero?
Well, let's find out. Like, let's talk about what makes what criteria makes a superhero. Like, what qualities does a person need to be a superhero versus an anti-hero?
Okay.
So, go ahead, Jeff.
That's a tough question. Because anti-heroes are basically just superheroes who didn't mean to be superheroes. Like that. I mean, really, if you think about it, like you look at Deadpool, you look at you could even rope in Ghost Rider, you could look at Frank Castle, you could look at any of these comic book characters who are anti-heroes. Black Adam's been both an anti-hero and a villain. Like, you know, you look at any of these characters, and the thing that really separates the two between anti-hero and superhero is an anti-hero saved somebody, and that was not their main intent. Their main intent was, I'm going to destroy the person who is doing this, but they saved people along the way. Like superheroes, really the thing that separates superheroes is superheroes do it with the intent of saving people. Anti-heroes do it with the intent of getting the villain.
So they have the pure heart.
Well, when I think of anti-heroes, I do think of Deadpool. I also think of Venom as well, because Venom, who was a villain, became an anti-hero. He doesn't want to be a hero, but he will step in and do what's right and what's good occasionally. Usually, and just like Deadpool, usually for their self-interest. Like, okay, I need to kill this bad guy to get paid. I'm not doing it because he's a bad guy. I'm doing it because I'm going to get a reward out of it.
Yeah.
Where heroes don't seek rewards.
Okay, so by that definition, then Punisher would be a hero because he doesn't seek rewards, nor is he getting paid, nor is he really
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna stop you right there. So for everybody watching right now, the most recent way that they can view the Punisher is to go watch the Punisher Netflix series and then also go watch the Punisher movie. I'm going to use those because usually those are the two. A lot of people don't really like.
Are we talking Thomas Jane movie? I want to make sure you're talking about Thomas Jane movie. Or
yes.
Okay. That's
not that knockoff Punisher 2
garbage.
Yeah.
Like, he had a daughter.
That was a rough movie to watch.
Dude,
I'm just gonna say now.
I had a hard time watching it.
It's so corny. But what was the line? He had a line of there where he was just. It was the typical like, we're gonna get him. Like, right? We know. Just finish it up. Let's get this movie over with. I got other movies to watch here. Like, but
it's like if it was made in the 80s,
right? But so if you're gonna use those Punishers, because avid comic book readers can go back and read the Punisher, comics, which I'm sure we'll reference at some point. But for those out there who are they enjoy the comic book idea, they enjoy the movies, they enjoy the shows and things like that.
They're fans.
They're the fans. They're the fans. We're the nerds. They're the fans, and that's that's how we can divide it. So if you look at it from that standpoint, I'm going to use the show specifically. In it, every single time he was in trouble, that something was happening, and I'm thinking, I'll use a specific scene: the police station, season 2. Oh no, season 1. How many seasons are out? 2, 1, 2.
There was only 2. The first one was when he got into jail, and season 2 is where he does get taken to jail with that chick. And that's, yeah.
So season 2, he's in the jail. The only reason that he helped the police officers was because he wanted to get out. The only reason that he didn't do it to save her. He didn't because remember at that point they were still on a very rocky plane. Like he was just like, all right, I guess I got to help you out here some way. But in reality, he knew he was incarcerated incorrectly and he just wanted to get out of jail. And he kept telling the cops, he's like, let me out and I can help you. But when we're done with this, we're going to talk. Like he had the intent that he was going to leave. He had the intent that he was going to get out. So his character as a whole, even in the comics, he has always done things with the intent to help himself. There's always a reward, whether it is tiny as, getting out of handcuffs or as large as money, like, being a mercenary.
So I agree to that to a degree, because I feel he does have an agenda and he'll do whatever he needs to meet his agenda. But he also does it because when you think of Punisher, one thing that comes to mind is someone who's taking out bad guys to clean up the streets for the normal man, for the children. So he's doing it for himself because in the comics, he does take great pleasure in what he does. He's a little crazy like that. So to say that he doesn't have a reward in itself is false. Because many times has he tried to leave and he can't. Like he cannot just live a normal life. He needs to be shooting mother effers to sleep at night.
You're right.
So he has his own agenda, but he tells himself he's doing it to protect the innocent. Like he wants to bring down corruption.
Something we have to recognize too is the origins of the two characters we're talking about here. Bruce Wayne, Batman, was created because his parents were killed in an alley by Joe Chill, and because they were gunned down, he said, when he became an adult, he said, "I vow to take down any evil there is in Gotham. I vow to take down any evil, no matter how strong, no matter how a strong of body, strong of mind, what have you. I vow to take them down." Frank Castle vowed after the mob killed his family, because if I'm not mistaken, he was like undercover. I think that's actually something the movies got right. Well, the movie got right was like he was actually undercover. Yeah. And then the mob came back and took his family out, and he said, now my job is I'm going to murder every single one of you, because that's that. So Batman wanted to bring them to justice. Batman wanted to bring justice to Gotham. Frank Castle literally just wanted to go murder people. So the reward, he's gonna kill somebody.
I mean, he kills someone with some trophies. I guess he kills someone with some trophies.
He's going to get in their body stuffed and just have them in the wall. Like, yeah, this one right here. This one came from July 2nd, 2019.
They think it's a head mounted
right here.
Their head mounted, but he's probably crazy enough to possibly do that.
What else in there like they were when they saw him? He was like.
But you bring up a good point. And I do want to ask this question since you brought up justice, because a lot of the Facebook groups that I've had this discussion with do pose this question, right? Because you said Batman wants justice, Frank Castle just wants to kill people. He wants revenge, I guess you can say.
Yep.
So the question gets posed a lot: what is justice? What is considered to have justice? Is it just arresting the person who did the crime, or is it killing them and preventing them from continuing to kill other people? So, and that's kind of what drifts, I think, a lot of people apart when it comes to the Batman versus Punisher.
You said that like 10 times fast. Like he froze and then rubber band you back, dude. It was like.
So to repeat myself, when it comes to this argument, we got Punisher fans and Batman fans arguing what true justice really is.
So I want to hear y'all's thoughts on that.
I mean, because that's probably based on the individual and their ethics, right? Like,
yes, it completely correct. Yes,
like religious beliefs and all that go towards that thought, right? So, justice for that's kind of hard.
I guess okay. So let me pose the question this way then. Do you believe what Batman does is justice?
100%.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe what Punisher does is justice?
Absolutely not.
I mean, it depends on the person. I mean, just for instance, let's say I had family. They got killed by the Yakuza. I'm like, those damn bastards got away with it. He goes, wipes them out. Justice.
So you're actually making the point for me that I'm about to say.
Go for it.
But simply by saying, I'm going to wipe them out. They're done. I mean, they're off the map. So justice in the comic books, if you look at what superheroes define as justice is defeating evil and making them stand trial for their transgressions against society. Okay. What Frank Castle does is stone cold, hardcore, unethical, thought out, full on revenge killing. Like there is no justice. This man's just like,
what if like, I mean maybe they got served one day and they went to jail and they bought off the judge and they got out. Then he's like, well, time to serve some good old American justice.
But think about that for a second. You said, okay, so they go to prison, they buy off the judge, they get out. But what happens? They commit the crime again, and then all of a sudden they're back into jail. They're back in front of a judge and they're back in jail. The cycle continues. But justice is ridding of all of that evil to make them stand trial for their transgressions, including, and we're using Batman here, including the judges that were bought off by the mob in Gotham, all the police, all of the thugs on the street. That's where this comes from. Now, granted, Batman might break some bones, but the thing is, he's doing it with the intent to bring them to justice for their transgressions against society. And that does not stop at just the street level or the supervillain level. That goes to the good side of judges, police, DAs, the whole 9 yards. Like, it doesn't matter, because think of it like this, literally one of the supervillains that he had to defeat was someone who he considered a close friend, and that was DA Harvey Dent. Who's Harvey Dent? Two-Face. So it's like, you have to look at it from that standpoint.
Yeah. And Hush too.
Same with Hush and Hush. They were childhood friends. So I mean,
unless you watched the animated movie.
I haven't seen the animated one yet. I read the comics. I love the comic. But I will say, as far as comic book goes, the definition that you said is correct. Now, when it comes to the argument, of course, these are real nerds in the real world,
These are the
and of course they have
king of the
they have their own ideology of what true justice is. They don't like the justice that's in the comics, which is why I feel this is a continuing battle between Punisher and Batman, because you got one man who just outright refuses to kill, while you have another one who, like I said, will do it. And so it kind of comes down to, the individual, what they define as justice when it comes to these two. I personally feel that the older I gotten, I think I side with Frank Castle more as far as what justice is. Not fully, because I feel he takes it to the extreme.
Okay.
Too extreme. Like, okay, this man has been caught with child pornography and he's going to kill him. It's like, no, that's like, we don't know if he actually did anything. That's a little too much. But you have a guy who murdered a family, went to jail, and then paid off the judge and got out, and then he kills him. To me, I see that more as justice. That's not to say what Batman is doing isn't justice either. So when it comes to these two, I think it does depend on the individual on what they wanted to find as justice.
Well, let's do this for a second. So I think the biggest concept that a lot of people are going to fall on is like you said, what is justice? What is justice served? And the realistic aspect of it is these two comic characters fall into very different worlds. And so one is going to consider justice one way, one's going to consider justice the other. I think the biggest thing here is we won't be able to determine who would win based on their brand of justice, because we could sit here and go circles all day long with the fact that Batman is going to incapacitate thousands of people and take them and put them behind bars, and that could be either with his fists, with a batarang, with smoke, with tear gas, with
with his car,
whatever, maybe.
I've literally seen this man drive into people, but yeah.
I mean, think of it like this. Batman is so strategic that he will literally take the guns on the Batmobile, shoot a specific point in the building, so when the building collapses, it does not kill the people inside, it just incapacitates them. Right. That's his thought process is, I'm not going to kill them. I might, give them the next 10 years of therapy, but I'm not going to kill them. I'm going to make sure that they are incapacitated to where I can rope them up and take them downtown, drop them off at PD, and make it back to Alfred for a nice hot cup.
All right, how about this? Let's say you're living in Gotham right now, okay?
Okay.
You have the choice to have Batman as your superhero or the Punisher as your superhero. Who would you want?
I was gonna say that for later, but I guess we go ahead. And
we can wait.
We can wait. Yeah,
okay.
we'll get with suspense.
Let's wait. I mean, the reason I brought up justice is to set the scene for when they fight.
Okay.
Because you're going to have Batman and you're going to have the Punisher going after the same crime family.
The Falcones?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
I mean, honestly, I can think, Penguin, Black Mask, the mob, Punisher gets there first. Punisher is doing his brand of justice. Batman shows up. I think we all can agree that Batman's going to go after Punisher. He's going to stop him.
Well, when you show up and you walk into a puddle of blood, you're going to find out who did it.
Yeah, and so that's the scene. That's how they meet. That's how the fight starts.
The thing is, I would, if anything, I would assume Batman would already know Punisher is there.
Hang on a second. I just got to check this real quick on YouTube. Have y'all ever heard, I think it's Superpower Beatdown. Y'all ever heard of that?
No.
I want to say I have. Yeah, I want to say I have.
Okay, I'm going to look, because what they do is they always pit two, it's by Bat in the Sun. They always pit two superheroes or villains against one another. I know Batman. If they did Batman versus Punisher yet. Batman
I'm sure they did. I mean, I would be surprised if they haven't.
Well, apparently it's popping right now.
I mean, this is an argument that keeps getting brought up. It's like
They have
constant.
not done it yet. They've done
What?
Punisher versus Red Hood.
Okay.
All right,
I give that. I
Batman
give that. I give that to Red Hood.
See, that's a whole different conversation.
Different discussion. Different discussion. Okay.
Fuck it, Joe.
So we know who these heroes are. The simple question is: they meet, they fight. Who's winning?
And when we define, so what do we define as a win? Because Punisher, he wins when you're dead. Batman wins when you're handcuffed.
I mean,
So basically, if he handcuffs Punisher, he wins. I guess is what we're going with.
I mean, it knocks them out, makes
Knocks
them
him out.
unable to continue to fight.
Mm,
So, and I do want to set some rules. We're not doing the Batman versus Punisher comic book that came out, like I want to say, like 20 years ago. That was a what if that doesn't count.
didn't Batman win that one?
Yeah, Batman won that one. So we're not going to do that, and we're not going to use the Punisher that kills the Marvel universe because that was a what if. So just mainstream Batman, mainstream Punisher.
Okay.
Well, I mean, personally, I'm about to go with Batman. Well, yeah, I mean, so we're doing this based like Joe said, like the movies, TV shows, and stuff like that, right?
I mean, the comics too, but like the
Well,
Batman from
I'm saying
from the main universe, not from these alternate
Okay.
universes.
So
because
Batman from Earth Prime, Earth 616.
yeah, because I want to say. I think so. First, I just want to say this: the main hate for Batman became when all the superheroes started to become brooding beings. That's I think a lot of hate came from, and the reason I say that is with Daredevil. You know, when Punisher introduced through Daredevil to the Netflix series, I feel like he wasn't the Daredevil from the comics that could legit. He could beat the shit out of anyone. he but Punisher took care of him pretty easily, I would like to say, right? And he didn't kill him. He gave him a chance. He said if he comes back, he'll kill him again, right? So using Daredevil as my measurement tool and thinking of Batman where he's at compared to Daredevil, he's like yonder here. I'm about to give it to Batman, dude, just because strategy alone. Because the thing is, I feel like so they both need time to plan, right? We can agree to that. They both need time to plan. And I will say, with Frank Castle being a veteran, he's able to change his plans on the fly if things went awry, right?
Right.
But I feel like even though the blood and bullets and the smell of gunpowder calm him down and put him in a place of zen, I feel that out of those two, I feel like Batman will keep his cool more, and he'll be able to outsmart him. And especially when it comes to hand to hand. If it were to come to hand to hand, Batman all the way.
Right? I mean, he's gonna have to hand to hand. He doesn't use a gun. So.
Oh, in fact, I mean, but I'm saying, like Punisher's gonna use his guns, fire away, and this and that. I mean, he used Mr. Freeze's gun, but we're not gonna talk about that. But
Batman picks and chooses when he wants to follow his rules. So.
Did you not watch the Justice League Zack Snyder cut? He picked up a gun and shot the. Anyways,
all right, so you're giving Batman.
I'm giving it to Batman. Yeah.
All right, Joe, what you got?
Well, I'm bringing facts. So I'm gonna trump your hand-to-hand combat thing for a moment. So the fighting styles between the two, the Batman primarily utilizes discipline in the styles of Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, let's see, Savate, Judo, Muay Thai, Kung Fu, and Karate. The Punisher has uses more of a system of MCMAP, which is Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, boxing, Muay Thai, combat wushu, Judo, Sambo, Ishinryu, Karate, Taekwondo, kickboxing, Hapkido, Eskrima, I think I pronounced it correctly, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Krav Maga. So, hand-to-hand combat, they are going to be dead even. it would just be a slap fest at that point, because both of them would have their own styles and they would be able to mix and match. Which both of them, keep in mind, we say that they are great when they plan, but even on the fly, they're fantastic. So they would be computing as they're fighting of like, okay, he just switched, fighting styles. I'm gonna switch one that would combat that a lot easier.
Right.
So, for instance, like if the Punisher goes on an all-out attack with an attacking fighting style, Batman's probably going to use something to do more of an incapacitating defense to use against him. That kind of thing.
Sure. You're right. Because Punisher, he won't try to hold back. He will try to kill Batman, whereas Batman's trying to hold back and arrest him. Yeah, I go with that.
Yeah. When it comes down to weapons, the thing about Frank Castle is Frank Castle's more of a boom, whereas Batman's more of a like very in the shadows. So
yeah,
if Batman already knows that someone is painting the scene that we've painted, it's a bloodbath, Batman's there, he sees this, he's going to go in through the skylight, he's going to be sitting among the rafters watching what's taking place. Now, granted, Frank Castle's probably going to know, hey, somebody's probably watching me at the moment based on certain clues, because both of them are going to be very elite tacticians. The edge I'm going to give here solely on the fact that he plays defense more than offense is Batman. The reason I say that is Batman, again, uses pieces to incapacitate. Batman's suit literally is made of full Kevlar. No armor piercing rounds are getting through that bad boy. No bullets are going to get through that bad boy. The only way you're going to kill him is if you shoot him in the nose. Good luck. Like, he's not going to give you a chance. And ultimately, Frank Castle doesn't really have defensive mechanisms to combat that, because all he is all on onslaught. Like, he's a phenomenal tactician. Comic readers and everyone out there, keep the comments to a minimum, because I promise, just listen for a couple more seconds.
I'm bad trigger some people already.
Yeah, I'm probably pissing off a lot of people right now. But Frank Castle would be able to utilize his knowledge and the weapons around him to make sure that he could attack against the defense that Batman's given. Batman is one of working among the shadows, working smoke screens and a lot of attack from the back methods kind of thing. Whereas again, Frank Castle's more all out onslaught. He's loaded to the gills with any kind of assault weaponry you can think of. The only reason I'm going to give it to Batman, though, is Batman's gadgets are consistently trying to incapacitate the individual who he is after. Whether, again, it's batarangs, smoke, even his grapple gun. He could shoot his grapple gun, literally have it tie around, Frank's ankles, tie him up, and that's it. And that's a key thing too, which we saw in the movie where I think it was the Red Hood. What was the movie called?
What happened in the scene? What happened in the scene?
The scene was where Batman and Robin were chasing down the Red Hood across the rooftops. Batman shoots his grapple gun at him, and you see him like grab a knife, cut through it, and keep moving. Yeah.
Under the Red Hood. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that sense, there we go. Oh, my computer froze for a second. In that sense, I don't think Frank Castle's going to know what kind of strength of knife he's going to need, because he's probably just got a K-bar attached to his hip, military issue. And that's not going to cut the cable that Batman's going to use here. Edge goes to Batman. When it comes to tech, Edge goes to Batman. I mean, when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, dead even.
So that's 2 wins for Batman.
But does Batman have, does Punisher have shark away spray, bro? See, that's how passive Batman is. He didn't want to kill the shark. He sprayed shark away to just get him off of him, incapacitate him. Shark repellent.
So I am going to have some disagreements, because I think hand-to-hand combat, Batman has a slight edge. Though I do think Punisher might know a little bit more martial arts. I don't think he's mastered all of them, where Batman has mastered all of his. So I feel, and I could be wrong, but I feel hand-to-hand combat, Batman has had greater feats than the Punisher, because Punisher wants to shoot, not really brawl. He wants to shoot people. The advantage I would give Punisher is where Batman is smart and prepares. Batman has never fought in wars, technically. He's never had to fight in wars, where Punisher has. So their mindsets are different. In war, things can go south in an instant, and you have to be ready. Punisher has been known to scope a building out prior to going and place weapons around to make sure he always has an out. So where Batman might be throwing things at him, knocking guns out, Punisher already knows where he needs to go to get his next gun. The thing that's going to hurt him, though, is as y'all were saying, Batman's bulletproof for the most part. Now, knives can pierce through, and knives have. And I think that's where the hand-to-hand combat is going to come down to, is a knife and fist fight. And I'm also going to give it to Batman. Just because I do think he is a more skilled fighter hand-to-hand.
And not to hate on the U.S. military. Oh, Joe got something.
Ooh,
What we got, Joe? What we got?
Finish your thought.
No, I was gonna say.
Isaac. Yeah,
no,
go ahead,
I was gonna say I'll take training over. I'll take training with the League of Assassins over the U.S. government.
Honestly, though, honestly,
bro, honestly, dude.
And to beat Ra's al Ghul, who has been doing martial arts or Ra's al Ghul, who has been doing martial arts for centuries. So
this is actually gonna this is gonna solidify my argument. I didn't know this, so forgive me, comic book fans out there. I did not know this. There was a crossover fight in a Marvel's arch nemesis DC comic line. I'm going to read this specifically. During the crossover series with Marvel's arch nemesis DC, Marvel's top sniper went toe to toe with DC's top detective.
Right.
They fought, then teamed up, then fought again. Each time they fought, Batman would come out on top to do his keen eye for detail and ability to adapt his fighting style. Now, remember what I just said about gadgets. It also did not hurt being a billionaire with more gadgets than he knows what to do with. Knowing that Castle was a former Marine meant that Wayne could adapt his movements accordingly. He accurately predicted Castle's every move. This fight is one that DC fans would remember for years.
And I did bring that up earlier as one I don't really want to touch on because a lot of Marvel fans refuse to believe that is canon. So, to please the Marvel fans, we're not going to use that argument. But I feel we don't have to because, we all, I think, in agreement, just feel that Batman will adapt a lot better than Punisher.
Well, let me ask a question. Let me pose a question here real quick. So, as far as humans, and I'm saying humans because that's what both of them are. They're both humans.
Yeah.
Neither one of them are supercharged, superpower, super soldier, whatever you want to say.
Maybe got some roids in them, but outside of that,
maybe they're juicing. Well, who knows?
Just maybe.
Yeah, they're just Batman's in the Batmobile, just like forgive me, YouTube. I'm sorry. Don't demonetize them for my stupid antics. But
we're totally fine.
So the thing is, you have to look at it from the standpoint of who has defeated Batman as far as humans. The only human, actually the only two humans who have beaten him, and that was due to the fact that they tactfully knew his background, knew when to strike when he wasn't Batman, is Deathstroke, Slade Wilson, and Bane.
I will say this too. Both in which Batman has stated are as intelligent and strategic as him.
Correct. Now you take those characters and say, could the Punisher defeat Deathstroke and Bane? Because Batman did come back and beat them. Now
I'm going to say, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say this. Bane, yes. Deathstroke, no.
Bane's just a brute. I mean, Bane is smart. Bane is smart though.
He is smart, but he can be outsmarted just because of his short temper. And the fact that the man's freaking weapon is just right there. Oh, yeah. Wears no body armor like Deathstroke and Batman do. Like Punisher just sniped this man.
I mean, basically, Deathstroke
is him first. He must take on the darkness. He must be molded by it.
Honestly, if Batman wasn't a hero, he would be Deathstroke, though.
Oh yeah, no, a Deathstroke's definitely like the anti, like
Batman. Yeah,
like it's not Joker by any means. Everyone out there can suck it. Like Joker is not the equal villain to Batman. It's definitely Deathstroke. Yeah. Like if Batman were a super villain, it would literally be Deathstroke.
I mean, hell, Deathstroke got himself a Robin. Teen Titans.
I mean, not just that. Deathstroke has also defeated the Justice League, just as Batman has.
Yeah, correct.
Now,
I do want to make a quick point to what you said. You were saying how Bane doesn't wear body armor. I don't want to, and this is one of those times where I'm going to specifically reference the movie. Shout out to Christopher Nolan.
What vest?
Yeah, vest and crab face Bane. This whole thing going on right here.
Scorpion.
That is the Bane that I would like to reference here because the Bane in the comics is juiced up. He has the toxin in him that he can smack his button and just super luchador over here. But the Bane in the movies, while a lot of people love the movies but may not see it as canon, that is still considered a Bane variant, if you will. Referencing Loki because I just watched the finale today.
I haven't started it yet. Oh, I'm gonna binge it. I'm gonna binge it, and that way we'll bring you back for that.
Future topic, guys. Future topic.
Yes. But I will say this: using that Bane specifically, how he tactfully took time. This was months of preparation and knowing who he was going against and knowing who all what pieces of the puzzle he needed.
Yeah.
If we're talking about smashing these two universes together, right? That Bane decimated Batman. Bane would also decimate Punisher because he would have thought out exactly who he is. Doesn't matter if he just rolls up on the spot. If that's the case, that Bane would have known who he is, what he's about, how he fights, everything A to Z, and take him on and win without question. He would literally destroy Punisher.
That Bane for sure would stand a better chance because going in that movie, Bane knew Batman wasn't going to kill him.
Correct.
So he worked with that. Going up against the Punisher, he's going to know Punisher's going to try to kill him.
Yep.
And guys out there on the comments, y'all can rage at us all you want. That's fine. I'm still going to give it to Punisher because Punisher is still smart. And this is like, to him, this is just like another warlord that he just has to cross out.
Yeah, because like you were saying,
though more intelligent, yes. I feel Punisher is just gonna wait till he goes into this hideout and just blow it up. Not even give him the opportunity to face hand to hand or even get close.
I just thought of something too, and this is something we haven't referenced yet. Bear in mind here one very valid point. The Punisher isn't a merciless mercenary who's just hunting random people. He goes after people with a purpose. So based on the context you provided for said fight, the only reason he would fight Batman is if Batman fought him, which we know
exactly.
If Batman rolls up on a scene and sees blood everywhere and sees that there's one man wreaking havoc on this entire building, well, Batman, of course, isn't going to try and kill him. He's going to try and incapacitate him. The Punisher isn't going to try and kill Batman because he has no reason to. That's why he never killed Daredevil. That's why he never killed any,
he never fought back against Cap.
So
I mean, he did fight against Cap, but he never tried to kill him.
Well, okay, so I will say this. When it comes to morals, and I did say that Punisher has none, that's actually not true. He has one moral. He does not want to kill people like cops, superheroes, anyone he believes is trying to do better.
He doesn't
will not
kill the good.
The good. He has, and it's haunted him, but he doesn't want to. And when he has, he wasn't in his right mind. Like the time he got brainwashed and killed a bunch of cops and almost killed himself for doing it, but Black Widow stopped them. So if they, in this scene, Batman's going to be like, hey, no, this is not justice. This is not how you go about it. And I don't think Punisher would kill him. Now you can raise the argument, would Punisher think Batman's a good guy since he continues to let these people run wild and kill? My answer to that is yes, because he lets Marvel heroes who do the exact same thing still live. Right? I mean, Spider-Man, Daredevil. Now the only difference is Spider-Man would kill as well as Daredevil if they got pushed to it, but they haven't. And Punisher still lets them live.
I wouldn't say Spider-Man would, but that's a whole different story. Like that's a
whole different
web, if you will.
Didn't he kill Green Goblin? Am I wrong on that?
He did kill Green Goblin.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't.
One of the
Did he though? Or did the Green Goblin do it to himself? Did he? Okay, we can't go down this path. There's another rabbit hole we're gonna go down.
Okay. So to end the argument, I think we all believe Batman would win in this fight. One other reason that I'm going to just put the nail in the coffin is strength-wise, Batman has been able to move 1,000 pounds, where the max Punisher has ever been able to move is like 700.
Mm-hmm.
So strength-wise, Batman's just stronger.
Yep.
So, with that being said, I think Batman would win. Now, that's not to say he's the better hero. Here comes Isaac's question. Go ahead, Isaac.
If you were living in Gotham and you had a choice of Batman or Punisher watching over the city, who would you choose? I will go first, and I will say the Punisher.
Okay. Because
I know Joker would leak out his gas one time, and that's it. It's over and done with. He dead. He gone. Like, all right, cool. And I feel like yes, people are scared of Batman, but I feel like people would be more scared of the Punisher because they realize the Punisher, they ain't got no chances. Like, if you fuck up, you're dead. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay. I'm gonna give some reasoning behind this decision. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna reference again a Christopher Nolan film.
Classics.
Because there's a very specific line in that movie.
Oh, I think I know where he's going with this.
And the line is when Bruce is talking to Rachel. Okay. And Rachel, behind the premise of it all, basically Rachel was like, "Are you actually able to give it up?" Because this takes place in the Dark Knight when Harvey Dent was literally ridding the entire city of all mob association, which was fantastic. And she asked him, "Are you actually able to hang up the cape and cowl?" And I'm going to paraphrase here for a moment, but the premise behind it, what Bruce said was, Yes, because this city deserves a hero who doesn't hide behind a mask, and that the end goal is to rid the city of all evil so that good could prevail, and the actual police and the DA and the commissioner and all of those folks who work within the public system could go about doing their job and handle the remaining problems, such as what we handle today, in the fashion that they should. That Batman would no longer, the day would come that Batman would no longer be needed. That was the actual specific line. The Punisher is
Wears no
always, the Punisher wears no mask. The Punisher is technically considered a mercenary for hire, if you really think about it. If you boil it down, I would want to live in a city with Batman because his goal is to make sure that all evil is brought to justice, including those working within the public system that could end up getting them out. But his goal is to rid the city of all evil, bring them to justice, and that way the city can thrive once more as a flourishing city that he remembers from his childhood when his father was running Wayne Enterprises and had the exact same goal in mind.
I mean, you don't think a politician would do their job when there's a gun pointed at them? I think they would.
I don't want to live in a city where someone's going to be like, hey, make this decision right now. Do it. Like,
and that's for the betterment of the community and the people. By all means.
Imagine that on Fox News. Like CNN and Fox News are doing like a total news reel right now, and all you see is a dude standing behind a podium just shaking, and there's just a straight up like deagle just pointed at his head at a frame.
Look. You're like what you said is you know I agree with but my thing is with Punisher. Look, man, politicians aren't gonna want to cross him. Thugs aren't gonna want to cross him. Cops ain't gonna want to cross him. So by that, they're gonna want to do their jobs properly and not do crime. And if they do, I mean, you take out you get the garbage, you throw it in a bag, and you toss it out. And he is the city's garbage man. Just throwing that out there.
Suddenly, the river in Gotham's filled with bodies and trash bags.
It needs to be, then it needs to be. At least it's not with innocence.
We got one Punisher, one Batman. Yeah, both wrong. What the F y'all live in Gotham for? I would have moved to Metropolis or something.
God, no loopholes.
No loopholes, dude.
See, then you got to deal with Superman. He's just going to break a building, and you're just going to look at him like, oh.
That's true.
They do. The condo drinking coffee, and then you look to your right, then you see Brainiac coming towards your window, just destroying the whole complex, dude.
That's true. That's fair.
All of that. F all of that.
But for me to answer the question, I kind of like what Joe said about the philosophy. My only issue is Batman has failed at that philosophy multiple times because he's not been able to bring peace. He has failed at, like, growing up, and I'm still a huge Batman fan. I still love Batman.
Greatest hero of all time.
And the Joker said it perfectly in what comic was that? Like Family Reunion or something, where he cut off the faces of all the Bat family. And of course, he tells the Batman, it's not that you don't want to kill me for your own moral code. You don't want to kill me because you know you enjoy this. You could have killed me a long time ago. You choose not to do this, and that's on you. And the same with Red Hood. Time and time again, you put these criminals in prison just for them to get out. And the people they kill when they get out is on your hands. And so, with that being said, though the Punisher's methods are a little too extreme, I would rather live in the city that he's governing. The only issue is when Batman has to leave Gotham, he has a family like Nightwing, Batgirl. He has the
Bat family.
The Bat family there to watch over. When Punisher leaves, there's nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only concern is because, and you might think, well, he's governing the city. Punisher would get bored and look for his next target and leave. That's the only downfall. He will not just stay in one single spot. He'll
Right.
wipe it out, kill everybody, leave, and then the next villain's going to come in.
But the thing is, when they what if he leaves on purpose for the next villain to come in to kill him?
No, oh, so I'm bait. Is what you're telling me? I'm bait.
Look, everyone's bait in general. They always take the innocent people and be like, "Come on, get me." So at least I know my guy's gonna come cap the dude. At least even if I die, at least I know he's going down with me.
You know how this is a good podcast topic?
How's that?
Because we've come full circle. We've come right back to the question: what's the philosophy of justice? And that therein lies like that's I'll say this, diverting from the topic for a moment. That's part of why I love comic books, because you can truly see how well the writer goes into developing the philosophy that these characters live by, like, and the moral compass that guides them to that.
Yeah.
You know, and in this sense, I mean, the realistic side of it is, I'm actually gonna change my answer to something real quick, and this goes to the main question of who would win. My answer is no one. It would be a stalemate. Uh, the only way we would be able to determine who won is if it's a straight up bare knuckle brawl between the two of them, you know, and that'll never truly happen knowing the characters.
Right.
You know, both of them are ultimate tacticians. They're always going to be weapons, gadgets, gizmos, the whole 9 yards. You know, you made your point of, you know, the Punisher always knows exactly where the weapons are, when to get to the weapons, how to get to the weapons, how to use said weapons, you know, knows how many rounds he has left in the mag or how many rounds he has left in the clip, knows how many grenades are strapped to his nutsack. Like, he knows all these things. Batman knows the exact same thing. It would truly be a stalemate. The only thing this is going to come down to is who is willing to pull the trigger when it matters to end that fight. And it would come down to a stalemate because neither one of them would have a reason nor a definition to pull the trigger.
So
Batman's philosophy. Go ahead.
No, I was like, that right there actually ties in perfectly Batman's and Red Hood's relationship.
Yes.
Because Red Hood has Punisher ideology, and though Batman disagrees with it, will not fully stop him, even though he knows Red Hood's killing. He doesn't agree with it. And even though Red Hood fully disagrees with how Batman does things, will not kill him because he also knows Gotham still needs Batman.
Yep.
You know,
exactly
just to go off of anime real quick, the way he was describing how they each know each other, they'll know each other really well. It reminded me of when Sasuke fought Itachi, and they're literally just standing in a room for about 30 minutes with their shotguns.
Just genjutsu, just genjutsu.
Orochimaru's head was like, "This is quite boring."
But I mean, I think that those are valid points because, like, in all actuality, I do feel it could be a stalemate just because neither of them would have the will to straight off finish or put one of them away. Because if Batman had that, he would have put Red Hood away a long time ago. But he still let do his thing. And vice versa, like I said, the Punisher has let other heroes who don't kill their villains continue their own way of justice.
Well, I think
that's not to say that the Punisher. That's not to say the Punisher won't intervene, because he's intervening in a lot of superhero fights to get what he needed, and that goes back to the anti-hero thing. He'll intervene to get what he needs to get done, and then just balance.
Yep. I think and this is for everyone out there debating this. The thing to think about here is, you know, because everyone's going to speculate. That's the beauty of comics, is you can always speculate, like, who's stronger than who could beat who, you know. there's no, I mean, we can argue the fact that the comic that literally pit Batman versus the Punisher isn't canon. But the thing is, if it's a comic book, it's canon. Like, let's not forget.
Trigger warning, guys.
Canon means a story was made that arc had some weight to it. People read it. It was brought into the universe. So it's canon.
It made money.
Yes. With that, Batman wins. But I will say we could sit here and really go over philosophy of what is justice, what is whose brand of justice, this, that, and the third, who's got the better weapons, that so on and so forth. But to understand something, the purpose behind a superhero or an anti-hero is the outcome must be to prevail over the evil that exists. Yeah. Look at the prime example of an anti-hero. Everyone knows him. He's everyone's foul-mouthed mercenary, Deadpool. Deadpool never, and I mean never, kills the innocent. In any comic book, in any movie, in any animated short, in anything, he does not kill innocent people. He kills evil. Right. And so, but he doesn't do it with the intent of I'm saving people. He does it with the intent of, as we said earlier, I'm doing this because I have a reason to do it for myself. Yeah. So you look at that same concept across any superhero or anti-hero. Their job is to prevail over evil. So in this exact situation, while we can sit here and speculate all day long as to who would beat who in a fight, you could sit there and talk about a bare knuckle brawl. So Bat and the Sun, make it happen. I'd love to see this, but you better give DLC credit because these guys deserve it. And just put me on a footnote at the bottom. The thing is, unless it's a straight up bare knuckle brawl for whatever reason, we're never going to know who truly wins because both of them define what's good, just different variations of the term good. Yeah.
And so not to cut you off, but for those, because I haven't technically answered the question, which would I rather have governed, just to get my answer out there, I'm picking Punisher. Not by a long shot by any means, but that's who I'm going with.
Yeah, but like I want to say that there is one hero that can defeat both of them with ease.
Superman.
Nope. Someone stronger than Superman. He is stronger than any superhero in the world because he fights against pollution. That's Captain Planet.
Captain Planet. Hell yeah! God, do y'all remember Don Cheadle's version of that? Tree. Oh my God, it was amazing.
He's fighting the real villains. He's fighting pollution, baby. Pollution. He's saving the world.
He's truly making this world clean.
But let's talk about the fact of how shitty it must be for everyone else to have dope superpowers under their rings, and suddenly you get art. Like, what? Let's talk about that for a second.
Our friendship,
dude. Oh my God. I remember the dude with the fire. He made French fries with his ring, dude.
Dom Toretto would have the ring of heart because we're about family. Oh man, we need a meme of that. Now.
I just want to say, I did watch Fast 9, and I want to say it was one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, I thought you were about to get away. I haven't seen it yet. Oh,
no. I'm saying, if you want a fun movie, ladies and gentlemen, completely off topic, Fast 9, babe. I mean, Fast and Furious 9, whatever. F9 suck, whatever. That movie is so bad. It's Christopher Nolan's movies are here. That's up here, baby.
Yikes.
That's enjoyment wise.
And that's why we get banned right here. That comment right
there. Hashtag cancel DLC over that comment there. Good Lord.
No, it is a great movie though. Like I went in thinking I went in knowing I'm gonna have the time of my life. And the whole time, dude, I am smiling the whole time, just oh my God. Like you guys are on acid thinking about this and I love it.
I'll have to go
Like
see it.
I just can think the director and be like, or just have him be like, "Hey, y'all like Facebook memes? Good."
Legit though. Legit.
You know what word really comes to mind? Just I wake up in the morning and I think about it. I'm sipping my coffee. I'm taking a dump. I'm out shopping at my local store to get some groceries. You know what I think of? Family. That's it. And I think we should make a whole movie based on family. No, why stop at one? Let's make 9 of them family.
And
Family makes you rich, right?
That's it.
You're gonna love it though. You're gonna love it. But I guess that wraps it up, right, boys? So
Yeah.
I've got nothing else I can give.
I would love to do something similar to this with other heroes, but we'll see where that goes. But Joe, always appreciate you stopping by. Where can people find you and listen to both of your podcasts?
So let me see.
Or 3 podcasts. However many podcasts you have. However many
2.
you got, bro. 2. All right, we'll go with that.
2.
You
no, so you, of course, the primary, you can find the Gaming Bunch on youtube.com/the Gaming Bunch. We're trying to get back on all listing sites. That you could blame me for that. I fell short for adding stuff on because video takes longer than audio. But youtube.com/the Gaming Bunch, twitch.tv/the Gaming Bunch boys, because Twitch did not like us using the Gaming Bunch. I don't know why. And follow us on TikTok. Yeah. At the Gaming Bunch. And then of course, thank you. Appreciate that. And then of course, Get Low is the music podcast that I'm a part of. And you can find that on all major listening sites, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. Or at our main distro site, which is anchor.fm/Get Low podcast. And you can also tweet us with some fun topics to talk about. Aaron would love that. He runs our social media side, and you can tweet us at get_low_pod. Aaron, this is for you. I said it right before you could. But yeah, you can check us out there. And both are a lot of fun. The Gaming Bunch is very active throughout the week. Get Low releases new episodes on Mondays. So check it out.
I wasn't making a face at Joe. So I have Epic Games installed into my computer because they give out free games, right? I'm looking at a notification right here. I want to read it to you, right? Just new in game, Fortnite, LeBron James. The king has arrived. LeBron is bringing his legacy to Fortnite with 3 iconic styles. Now in the item shop. And
all right, cool.
He has a floating crown on him. Props to him, I guess.
When you edit this, I need you to cut to credits right after this, okay? I just need you to cut to credits. Look at me. Look at me. I'm going to tell you all out there right now. Epic Games is just one massive construct where they put things in big box retailers where you're going to constantly see their brand for Fortnite everywhere, and it's going to make you want to play the game even though it sucks. Cut the credits.
That goes into future sponsorship. Dude, right. honestly, they were this close to pulling me back when I saw Master Chief. I'm like, Master Chief? And then I looked at him like, he looks a little odd, but I still kind of want it. But I didn't go for it. But anyways.
No, thank you.
But I also want to say, so yeah, Joe, thanks again for stopping by. And for anyone out there that's triggered, that hates us, that has comments to make, leave them down in the comment section. You can also reach us at Do Let's Chat Pod on Twitter and at Do Let's Chat on Instagram. And also, we have gameplays going up. We also hope you're enjoying that. And you can catch us live streaming those on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Links will be in the description. And I gotta put Joe's link in there too, by the way, because Joe, when's your stream schedule, bro? Let them know.
Stream schedule for us is well, it's interesting. We have a lot of flavors. So if you enjoy challenge based gameplay where we come up with random challenges in games, send us a lot of those because we love them. They're a lot of fun. Doesn't matter the game, we'll probably do it. So our challenges happen on Saturday nights, 8:00 Eastern Standard. Our podcast happens Sundays, 8:00 Eastern Standard, Sunday 8:00 p.m. And then we have playthroughs happening. Sam does his on Mondays, and I do mine on Tuesdays, both at 8:00 Eastern Standard. in the evening. And Anderson should be starting his soon. We don't know exactly what day. But then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have pretty much like a Pandora's box of, if we're feeling it, we'll hop on. And typically it's me playing Warzone. But that's our schedule. So swing by.
And I want this is for you, Sam. Can't believe you left me, bro. You got into Mario Kart for 3 matches and just dipped on us. I know you're gonna blame the internet, but I mean I know what it feels like to come in last. I played Forza, but at least I didn't leave and blame the internet. That's all I want to say. Actually, technically, point base wise, I was not last. Just want to throw that out there. I was not last. I was 4th out of 30, so I was close. Anyways,
you were right behind me.
But my brother's frozen. So yeah, this wraps it up. Like you guys are stuck. Yeah, you're frozen. That's all good though. You're fine. And
he has the most RBF face right now with his frozen screen. It's fantastic. You just look like you're judging everything we're saying.
Right? It's one of the faces the viewers are making while we talk about this topic.
That's it. That's
our thumbnail right there. That's our thumbnail. I'm gonna make that our thumbnail.
Hey, you know what? If y'all hate it so much, share it. Let your friends hate us too.
Yeah, and don't give us a dislike.
Share the video.
And I hate likes.
Make sure when you're watching this video, right beneath this video on the right side corner is the subscribe button.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Show these guys some love. Hit the subscribe button, the bell icon. That way you get notifications when they upload. And then drop this video a like because they deserve it. Because they're amazing. You heard it right here.
Look at Joe cooking me up right there, man. Look, Joe. That's why we got him. All right, guys. Exactly what he said. We'll catch you next time. Later.
Peace.